I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers. Both twins, Carl and Peggy, were dead. It was a pigsty, and I was dropped off there and grew up, and that's the name I still have to use, Peggy Ann Childers. My name is Victoria the Second, and I've put all this up on video since August the 3rd of last year on Facebook, and I ran in a political campaign after I had written a book on mind control. I found out about my kidnapping in '83 when I was flown to Larry Flint's because the person who shot him was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney. So these have been ongoing, but this is another thing, how they've gotten to me. I don't know where my sons are. I don't know if they're alive or dead. Nobody will touch it. But I'm allergic to chemicals. I have a immune disorder that if I inhale and you have to breathe, that my immune system attacks itself. And if you're confined, or I'm confined in a room or a house where the apartment where the ventilation system has been deliberately made toxic, then you can imagine what I've gone through over the years. The inflammation, it gets to my kidneys, my lungs, my heart, my vascular. I could go on, and I've had proof. I've put it up on YouTube. And believe me, telling the truth didn't help on Facebook or on this, YouTube. What I wanted to say was that I've tried to leave, and I'd be run back here to Virginia, Roanoke. And I'll say this is just one of them. The Virginia Tech shooting where the 33 were killed April the 16th of '07 was part of the mind control murders done in patterns. There's lists of them. The point is that somehow they want to kill the messenger. I was kidnapped and brought over here. The ugly, vile criminal acts done against me. April Fool of '80, I had antifreeze put in me. Nobody's touched it. I had a letter from the FBI, U.S. Attorney, June the 23rd, before that happened, of '79. I thought it was because of the book I wrote, Larry McDonald, Congressman, Doctor. Later I find out my name, and I understand now why this is all being done to me and my sons in my country. What I want to get to right now, though, is I've told about the use of chemicals against me, making everywhere I was toxic. I've run out to the Appalachian Trail to live. They'd come out there, the volunteers, oh yes, they've done it, and soaked my tent, soaked around where I was tented. So they've kept me, and kept me just sick, and my body organs tearing down. Besides the life I live, it's hell. Half the time I'm passed out so sick I can't. So if you're wondering, my lungs are filled up now. I've told about this. This is the Patels and Shaws. They're from India. This is just one of them, but they own just about everything around here, motel-wise. Nice ones just off the interstate here in Troutville. You should look them up. They own all of it, and I'm in one of them that's not that nice. To stay at in behind Shoney's, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've said it before. They got the maintenance guy up there in charge of everything, but it's the man that's, I guess, running it right now for the owner. In essence, I've done nothing to these people. They have become quite wealthy. They were written up in one of the local papers, and they've got Bob Goodlatte, who's head of the Intelligence Committee and Homeland Security, who I've been in his office. He knows, here in Roanoke, he knows all about my kidnapping, about the mind control murders, what they're doing to me. Senator John Edwards from the state of Virginia knows it. I've been in his office. They were, during an opening of Shaw's, one of his Quality Inns, huge one here, and they own all of them. They just bought out the one on Third Lane Road. It's the land that they're on. They have become so wealthy, but what they've done, I'm going to go back and quote a Patel that owned the Budget Inn on Williamson Road back in '95, I believe it was, November. I had managed, my jobs were shut down, and I managed to get a live-in and save a little money, and I went there and paid a month's rent, and this is what happens. I pay a week or a month, and they bring in, and you can't call the law, they're part of who's doing it. So I can't get an attorney. They're afraid of it all. So over the years, they've been able to run me like a fox or a dog, or squish me and spray me like an insect rather than a human being, and everybody's watched it and participated in it. It's been an ongoing sick joke. Anyway, um, the Patel where I paid the rent back then, this has happened many times to them, though, in the Shaws, that I'd pay the rent and they'd come in and bomb the place, have the insect come in and bomb it, and I'd be run off. They've run me, and that's what Carl Barton, the retired state trooper, said. This is how we run you, with chemicals. Well, there's another way they do it too. So now then, my lungs all across the back are seared, because here where I'm at now, um, this is this is November, the mid-November here. It's cold as hell here in Roanoke, Virginia, Troutville. It's 22 degrees, I believe, last night. I went out for a walk. They've tried to get me gone because evidently they do. This is what the Patels told me way back then in '95 after they took my money. They were going to come in and they were going to redecorate, uh, take out paint and all this, and I'd already told them about my allergy. They don't care. That's funny to them. So I called the cops. Well, the cops told me I'd have to leave or they'd arrest me. I didn't get my money back. I haven't done anything to these people. Not one thing. I was kidnapped and brought over here. You should see the list of the laws broken and exactly what they've done to me in plain sight. Well, they took my money. I'm a hostage, just like my country. England, Great Britain is a hostage. My children, nobody seems concerned about helping find them if they're alive or dead. My point is, there at the Budget Inn, I ended up having to leave and losing everything I'd put together in a cab, trying to find a place to live, and they didn't give my money back. Nothing. So I'd paid a month's rent for nothing, and that's happened more times than you can imagine. So I came here for the same reason. I've tried to leave. I've had to come back to Roanoke. The stay at inn was a travel lodge. So they all own this out in this area off the interstate and in Roanoke, and God knows what else. They own convenience stores, fuel, all this. They have a place called Maverick. It's a holding company. But right now, what I wanted to get to, my lungs are seared. They told me to get out. They do what they're told. They're citizens here now. That's what they said to me in November of '95, the Patel. They've got furniture right next to me. They have pulled out, and they pulled out the carpet. They pulled out stuff, and they've used chemicals to clean it. Till last night, the air outside was so filthy with chemicals that I just about died in here. I've had a rough time staying, but there's no way I can stay now. I mean, they made it so, and I can't call the law. They told me to get out. I haven't done anything wrong. I've paid my rent on time, and this has happened before at affordable corporate suites owned by the Jews. They've gotten wealthy. They actually gave me a letter that was so ridiculous for me to get out. They weren't going to accept my rent because I wouldn't let them use the chemicals to gas me. I've put that up on YouTube and Facebook, copies of it. Now then, they've got the furniture and the carpet pulled out next to me, and the chemicals they're using. I can't hardly breathe. All night long I thought I was dying, so I have to leave. I pay them rent. Now I'm out. I have nowhere to go, and it's freezing, and what few things I have I'll lose. So if anybody doubts what I'm saying, what the hell is this furniture and carpet pulled out next door to me, not the rest of the place, but to me. And he said that I either left before they got to me, and if he moved